What's up, my beautiful friends? Since we have a little delay in between the playoffs, I want to share my love with you. You guys share so much love with me, specifically talking to like the hockey fans, the hurling fans. Let me share my sport with you. This is an extended highlight package. I've got a terrible memory, so I've forgotten how this game goes, but I'm a Storm fan, and this was as close to a perfect performance as you can get, so I want to share it with you guys. This is rugby league, not rugby union. They both rugby, but they got different names. A lot of people get that confused, so I just want to let you know that. This is league, so there'll be some subtle differences. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this one with you guys. We'll stop. We'll take our time when we need to. And
through the ranks as a junior was one.
Let's just enjoy it. So we got the kickoff and the first hit up. Always good fun. My team is the purple team. The men charging down with that line there.
Storm versus Tigers. Playing it right centre. Dewey and Naden on the far side.
Well, I tell you, this game was a show-out game. This is about as good a performance as you get. Although these passing doesn't make it look like that, does it? Can they make something out of this, though? This is all over the shop. Yes. He just wants it more. Ryan Pappenhausen, that's our fullback, and he's a much-loved player. I'm going to give you guys a little bit, before we watch this incredible put-down, I'm going to give you a little bit of the history since, you guys fill in for me with the comments a lot of stuff that I don't realize, that you don't get out of the highlights. Now, Ryan Pappenhausen, he's a very loved player. Well, wait at all. He's a very loved player, even by oppositions, right? Always really skilled, was coming through to be one of the top fullbacks, and he had a horrific run. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 years with injuries. And they were bad injuries. When he returned from his injury the first time, which I can't remember exactly what it was, but we have one of the largest players, Big Nelson Asafa-Solomona. He's a big boy. When Ryan Pappenhausen made his return and things were going great, he was playing good, after a few games, our biggest player fell on him in a tackle and snapped his leg. So that was already after a year to 2 years of bad injuries. Then he had a complete break of his leg from some friendly fire, just a freak accident. And then this is sort of the first year that he's finally coming back. So it's amazing that he stayed in the Storm system. Storm stood by him, and he's given us back. He has this was like the game of his career, if you ask me. Now, I want to point out the skill of the put down here. The try. He has to have downward pressure. You cannot, if his hand comes off it at all when it hits, it's bad. But watch this put down here, guys. He just wanted it more. We were talking about that in yesterday's video. Wanted it more. He gets in between multiple players here. This angle will be great. Look at the body position. As he gets this down, he's got players all around him. He's rotated. Amazing start. He's also our kicker. So then he takes the 2 points. I picked this because now you get to see the conversions. So for those that don't know, you take the kick from where you scored the try, like as a vertical line back. Look at this. Sorry, I'm going to be really excited about this one. And it's Pappy again. He's backing up. So he gives the pass that makes the break, stops the play, and look, he's straight back to support his player, create the opportunity. And this is only the first 10 minutes, guys, so we're in for a good one. You see why I said I'd be happy about this? So I hope you guys get to enjoy me sharing a bit of my love with you as you've shared your love with me. Yeah. That Lockie Galvin, this player here, he's been a big story in the NRL this year. Big story. Very interesting stuff. If you want to know more, ask in the comments. Basically, there's big contract disputes with him.
Tigers go very short. They put it up in a chimney almost. Buller is there, beaten by...
Again, it's Paps again!
He has a hat-trick!
Guys, this game's been going for 17 minutes. And our fullback has a hat-trick. 3 tries. We don't throw our hats on the field like you'll throw your hats on the ice, but maybe we should start doing that. 17 minutes for a hat-trick, unheard of.
The game he's having, Ryan Pappenhausen. He puts the kick in to get the repeat set. And then Xavier Coates.
Shocking defense from the West Tigers there. As good as Storm are, what are they doing?
Looming up on the inside. Bit of luck going the way there. But desperation from Coates. And then all he could hear was Pappenhausen.
And this was a home game at Amy Park. Amazing place to watch league. It's brilliant. So to get 3 tries in 17 minutes, it's pretty crazy. And then he gets to take the kick. Now again, because he got the try directly under the sticks, and he's the kicker, he's given himself an easy kick here. He could just slot that one through. I'll try not to stop too much since it is an extended highlight. Here's a longer one. Amazing. This is so good. This was like just... Now that's a good story. I just said I'm not going to stop it. Is this the... So Josh King is a real great story. In fact, I will tell you a little bit about Josh King. So this is Josh King here. He's a middle forward. They don't get points often. So this is the big moment for him. He does have to reach out, really. He got it out. Yeah. So this player, Josh King, is an interesting story. He was playing for a team called the Newcastle Knights. Melbourne Storm played against the Knights. Josh King out there was only getting like 10 minutes, 10 to 14 minutes a game. Whatever he showed in that match against Storm, the story goes that the Storm coach said he wanted him immediately, and now he's become one of the best players in the league in his position. After years, so he just saw the hard... It was something about the work ethic. All right, I'll explain what happened here. You cannot... Why is it not going... Oh, it's on the volume. Sorry. You cannot run behind your own player. You can't impede... So this is their defensive line, right? And this is the defender here. I'm assuming this is the... Let me just watch for the obstruction. Yeah, that's the obstruction. So... This is their defensive line. These guys are decoy runners. So right now, every one of these players wants to look like a threat. And what's that doing? That's engaging defenders, right? They can't let up. If there was 2 less runners, well, it's easier for them because they know they only got to really defend a couple of guys. So all of these players are looking like an offensive threat right now. Munster's going to distribute the ball. When these guys, right, because they're decoys, run through the line... They can't make direct contact or impede the line, right? You can't just run up and take out a defender. You can't do that. So that's what happens here. I'll be right. Who is it? Yeah. Right here. He is affecting the defender from being able to shift with the line. So that's what... If Ryan Pappenhausen, the fullback, decides to pass it, try to run it, then it will be a penalty. But he can recognize the obstruction and take no advantage. So that's what he does here. That's why he just drops like that. Exactly. I understand. It would look really weird if you didn't know about that. Yep. So he just does the safe play. We got a big game coming up this week with State of Origin. You might have seen my first reaction. I would highly recommend checking out Balefire podcast on YouTube. He's a Canadian who's learning about League. He'll be watching State of Origin. He does a live watch on YouTube. So there's Josh King again, that one we were talking about, that hard worker. They've just got him bamboozled. Look, he's got him bamboozled. This is a huge score, guys, in the first half. They really are. This was an embarrassing performance from them, but a great performance from Storm. So as long as he puts that ball down, it can be over his shoulder. As long as he's got the downward pressure, Paps with another kick.
This time around, it's 28 points to nil. We've had 28 minutes of action. Silva from dummy half.
All right, we get to see the Tigers attack. That's the big player. That's the one I was telling you about. So Big Nelson, fell on Pap's leg and snapped it. Ooh, I was watching that game. It was... Ooh.
Good runs from Staines and Naden.
Poor Pappy. But he's obviously worked hard to recover from that injury, and you can see the fruits of it in this game. And this is one of the things I find with like hockey. Ah, let's go. I find you can get an attachment with the players much easier. Like, I'm sure you would remember Ryan Pappenhausen now. Just because there's less armor, which is obviously required in hockey. But yeah, you can sort of get to build a history with the players easier. So even in the Tigers attack, they're breaking down. Good job, Meany. Good show of speed. We're still not at half-time, guys.
You're never quite sure of your reads, but they were very relaxed. And then it crossed to the Melbourne change room, and it was Craig Bellamy sitting in his circle, and Munster and all their leaders were locked into the eyes on the back of that heartbreaking.
So basically what the commentator's saying is the Storm team were locked in for this game. They were taking it very serious.
You were going to need your baseball bats, because she was going to be on for young and old. And the Melbourne Storm.
On for young and old, mate. You guys get to appreciate some of the differences in the commentating. Another kick for Ryan.
That is for sure and certain.
Or Pappy, Paps.
Pappenhausen with the extra 2 once again. Forwards around.
I mean, his mullet is unforgettable, though, isn't it? What's going on here? Oh, this is the end of the half. So that is a demolition, guys. 34-0. I cannot overstate. Like, that's a huge difference, points difference. That's why I consider this one of the perfect games from my team, which is I was always holding this one in the back pocket. This was a few months ago, but I always wanted to get to it. And the great thing is I have a terrible memory, so it's like I get to experience with you guys again. Obviously, I know, you know, the score, but Pappenhausen again. He's in everything. Look at that. Backs it up. Strip them from numbers on the edge. But I can't emphasize how much of a difference it makes when players go. Some teams you'll watch them get a break and there's no support. That's probably one of the best things Pappenhausen does. He's always supporting, right? His work's not done. He stays with the play. So that's 4 tries. Plus he's getting all the points for the kicks. And because he's scoring them, he's making them easy kicks for himself.
Couldn't agree more. He really is. If he's not the best support player in the game, he's in the top 2.
Best support player, exactly. He's always there.
Opportunity, he turns them into points. Great vision, great skill.
And I'm sure that transfers over to like some of your favorite players in whatever sport it is, be it hockey, be it hurling, the players who put the extra effort to make sure they're there when an opportunity arises.
Fast play the ball. And that's all they need, this Melbourne Storm. You'd imagine Ryan Pappenhausen's name would certainly be in the mix.
Well, maybe forget 14. Maybe he's in the mix for the number 1 jersey.
I'm just going to give you a spoiler.
Another set restart.
I believe Pappenhausen equaled the all-time points record for an individual player in this game. In one game. I can't remember what it was, but it was something crazy. I think if he had to go one more try or one more point, it would have been the all-time record for most points. That was actually a really good example of what I was talking about, of a decoy runner. Watch Big Nelson here, our biggest player. He might be the biggest player in the league. I don't know. He's a big dude. Watch him. Look at how have a look at him here. Watch him draw defenders, right? They have to respect him because of the size of him and because the score's right here. He's like selling it. Wasn't as good as what I thought, actually. But still, gives you an idea. Well, and that's why you got to respect him. Holy. That's why you have to respect him, right? So good job. He backed up that run. Good luck stopping him.
Going to keep the foot on the gas today. Pappenhausen in search of a handful of tries for the first
46-0. This is crazy. Nice, beautiful pass in. Where's Pat? They're already asking, where is he?
Inside, outside, and one more try for Melbourne to bring up the half century.
There's Big Nelson. Look, great running. Ooh,
himself to right at the top with all
At this level of the game, dominate the way he has done. So he has a break now. We are still
50?
20 minutes remaining here, and it is
52. Half a century, guys.
Josh King scored one of those tries off the back of
I hope you're, I hope you're enjoying this like I do. All right. So that's bad from them. I'll quickly explain it. You can either stop the play and get a penalty. I've spoken about it before, but you have 6 tackles to try to get to the end. They don't let him go, so he gets another full set of 6 tackles on their line. Oh, he is... That player who just smashed them was from the West Tigers, so there's a bit of venom in that. Too much space. Too much space. Too much space and skill from those guys. That was a very relaxed celebration from Munster. He's normally a bit more excited about him than that. 56-0, guys.
His favourite player was with Lara Pitt. He said Cameron Munster. I absolutely love him. I've loved watching him.
So Pappenhausen, with just on 13 minutes remaining, makes it
Now, it's not a perfect game yet.
points to nil. Maybe a couple of
5 minutes left. Let's see.
game.
Yeah, he's really had no room.
There's also some other stuff that isn't in the highlights again, which really excels and shows Pappenhausen in particular how important he is. Because just as good as he was offensively, defensively was one of his greatest performances I've ever seen.
For a new personal best.
He was everywhere in defense too. I actually think it might be one of the best individual performances I've ever seen.
Munster into huge space.
Great pass.
Back to Garlick. The pass given
Wow, I forgot we got over 60. Did we get over 60?
Garlick.
Oh my god. It's actually worse than I remember.
On 60.
60.
Harry Grant just whipping his club mate.
Oh my god.
In for him.
Great pass there though. You know, we look at it like when we look at the pass. You know, I appreciate in hockey when it's the pass and it's in between the sticks and it's only perfect. Like, look at the timing of... I don't know if I'm going to be able to pause it, but look. Yeah, so he's coming in. You've got a player here. They're both trying to get to the ball, but it goes exactly through to be able... You see why I appreciate... That's why I can appreciate these passes in like hockey and you know, and stuff like that. So
All the way to the try line. And again, Cameron Munster.
I'm telling you, there's some sort of crossover. You wouldn't think there's that much, but there really is.
Boy, Terrell May coming in with a lot of raps.
He's done well. That's a big player, Terrell May. Big defender.
Munster, one of the elite forwards. Bang, just a big fence straight into the chest of Terrell May. Lovely ball on the inside to Garlick. I'm not sure I've commentated a great game like this for a long time. 64-0 now.
64-0. Unbelievable.
Chance. Fainu, the pass was forward.
So you see why I say it's the perfect game. 64 points, guys. That is a massive score. You do not see points like that. Maybe once or twice a season, maybe. I don't know. Now, defensively, that's what these guys would be proud of. I know this team. It's one thing to score a lot of points, but you can get lazy. If you put 50 points on a team, who cares? No, this was a great performance. They made sure they held him out. They fought to the end. Pappenhausen had the game of his career. Defensively, offensively, I'm telling you, defensively, his work rate was insane. I've never seen a player work like he did in this game. I'm pretty sure of it. He had some big plays also, yeah, defensively. But anyway, I've said that. Hope you enjoyed that one. I want to give a little bit back since we're waiting. You know, the hockey's a couple of days away for the Stanley Cup. Or is it tomorrow? Either way, whatever. We got to hang out to see what happens in Game 6 there. So hope this tides you over a little bit and you can feel my love of it and I give a bit of it to you. And what we're going to do once the Stanley Cup finishes, we're going to look into other sports. I know hurling's continuing for a bit. Rugby league's obviously on. I'll probably just do if there's like a big game, something like that. You know, if something crazy happens, we'll do that. We got State of Origin on Wednesday, so I'll definitely be doing State of Origin. Win, lose, or draw. It was really hard to do Game 1 for me because my team was terrible. But anyway, hopefully they've made the changes. Guys, get over to kick.com/fightingsloth. I see those of you who've come over there. Look, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I'm not trying to like emotionally blackmail you, but should I say it? I don't know. I foresee there's some health problems coming up with my animals. So, you know, I literally get money from people just being there and talking. So, you know, I'm getting ready to batten down the hatches and you know, for whatever's going to happen there. I can see I'm having a few issues with my dog's health. So, you know, it ain't cheap. So, shit. My bad if that makes you all feel guilty or something. Don't worry about it. You don't got to go if you don't want to. But hey, thank you to the people who have done it because you're helping me out directly. So I appreciate you so much. Have a beautiful day. Peace.